Hello again, Internet. This is Stuart doing another pregnancy video. This is the start of the second week of the third trimester. So far, the first week of the first trimester has treated us well, and yeah, looking forward to this last third of the pregnancy. Okay, so first things first, like I said in my last video, my wife was doing testing for gestational diabetes. The test results came back earlier this week, and there's no concern there. She does not have gestational diabetes, which is a nice relief, but the test did indicate that her iron levels in the blood were kind of low, so unfortunately she still had to get some medication to help with like iron supplements and whatnot. But hey, we missed the big scary thing of gestational diabetes. Not necessarily scary, but my wife just didn't want to deal with it. So we don't have to worry about that, fortunately, so we can enjoy the last third of pregnancy about the same pace and same style as we have been thus far. So this week also my wife needs to start kick counts and has been doing those on a daily basis. So far they've been fairly easy for her to do because baby has been kicking harder and harder and harder, and I can definitely feel the baby kick really hard now, and it's amazing. I mean, just to put my hand on the stomach all of a sudden, before it was just like a small tap, you know, just a nothing more. Now I'm feeling like a good thud, and dang, I didn't realize baby would get this like strong this fast, because yeah, you can really feel those kicks. You can also see my wife's belly jiggle a lot whenever the kick happens, so that's always amusing. We can also kind of tell where baby is just by how the belly's shifting. Like my wife's belly will be centered, and all of a sudden we just see this blob shift to the left side of her body and then shift to the right side, and it's kind of humorous. I will admit it's intriguing, and just to watch her move and slide around. And of course, being the dad I am, I always have fun just sort of poking at her feet or hands whenever they're pressed against the wall, and every now and again I'll give a few pokes and then she'll kick back. So I don't know if that's just because it's stimuli or whether she's actually responding. I don't know, but it's kind of fun to do every now and again. I'll just come up and I'll just start poking my wife's belly, and baby will start kicking, which not always a good thing, because sometimes it kicks my wife right in the bladder or in the ribs. So she doesn't always appreciate it, but still, I find it kind of fun. She still can feel the kicks pretty much at any part of her belly. They're not necessarily painful, but they do get annoying. Like I said, if she gets kicked in the ribs or like down low near the bladder, then not painful, but definitely annoying. Especially the really strong Falcon punch type kicks, because yeah, she feels them hard, really hard now, and it almost sounds like it knocks the wind out of her depending on where the kick is. And yeah, so we got just 2.5 more months of these really strong kicks, and then inside the womb, and then all that energy can be spent outside. And my wife can take a breather, quite literally, because she's tired of having the wind knocked out of her every few minutes. We still notice that the baby is really active at night, and I've come up with a theory as to why that is. I think it's my fault. So when it's late at night, I get kind of loopy-ish, like I just start to get really sarcastic, you know, 3 a.m. jokes type thing where anything and everything is funny just because it is, and I'm just being a doofus because for whatever reason it's funny. I've just always screwed around with my siblings like that. Like 4th of July, we were out visiting family, and we were there late at night, and we just got really loopy, making all sorts of weird, crazy jokes and whatnot. And it was 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, this is a sign it's time for me to go to bed. And I thought, wait a minute, what if that's why Caitlin is moving around so much at night? Because she's inherited my late night loopiness. If so, I'm really sorry for my wife, because she's had to deal with 3.5 years of me being crazy and loopy late at night, not to mention the shenanigans I create on a daily basis. But now my daughter has apparently inherited my tendency for shenanigans, particularly the late night loopiness. And yeah, so I wonder if that's what the cause is. Makes me think. And if so, in a way, I'm excited for it, but at the same time, I just do feel slightly bad for my wife, who has to deal with all that, because she is not necessarily an early person. Or like when she gets sleepy, then she tends to get more on the grumpy side, not so much the loopy side. And yeah, so far, all indications are that I'm on the loopy side and my children are on the loopy side, so... Well, I guess we only have one child right now, but hopefully she'll have at least one child that can sympathize with her late night grumpiness instead of the late night loopiness. Sadly, this will not be the child. Sadly for her. Great for me. So earlier this week too, we had a rather interesting comment given to us. So my wife received a comment from someone like, "Oh, so are you having a boy or girl?" And I'm saying, and then of course she said, "Oh, well, we're all having a girl." And the person just kind of looked at her belly and was like, "Really? Your belly's way too low to have a girl." And we thought, what? And we're like, yeah, boys are usually low down and girls are higher up belly-wise. And we thought, okay, never heard that one before. But, I mean, let's just face it, we've broken like every single gender prediction old wives' tale that there could be. I mean, that's why in my first videos, if you look like during the first trimester and the first part of the second trimester, I was betting hard that we were going to have a boy, because all the signs, all the old wives' tales indicated that we were having a boy. Wife had increased appetite, was not really having any morning sickness, you know, all these other symptoms that you can go to my past videos to see. Everything pretty much indicated boy, and it was a girl. And I lost heart on those bets, and I was kind of disappointed that all those old wives' tales failed me. So yeah, hearing this and, oh, it's supposed to be a boy if it's that though, face it, we've proven like every single stereotype wrong in that aspect. There's just no way to tell, you know, through all these other symptoms. Maybe there's some indication or probability to it, but still, like, I don't trust any of that anymore. Just don't trust any old wives' tales when it comes to pregnancy. Every pregnancy is different. Every mother having the pregnancy is different. So everything's going to be different and unique. So don't trust any of it, because, face it, we've proven everything wrong. And if we can prove everything wrong, something can surely go wrong with you or your wife's pregnancy. So can't trust anything these days, can you? But that should be it for this week. Thank you once again for joining me for another pregnancy video. I look forward to spending the next 2 to 2.5 months talking with you guys about the third trimester, and hopefully things continue to stay exciting. But in the meantime, thank you once again for joining me. Stay awesome, Internet, and I hope to see you here next week.